It's 9/1/2022, and I was just watching a video of me talking about, there's, documenting sirens and the fact that I have them several times a day now. I live up in a pretty remote corner of the community. It's not like I'm downtown, not any high crime over here. And I hear sirens at least usually twice a day. And I'm just looking over my videos and right away. They're listening. They're listening to every word you say, everything. And it's totally disgusting. These people took an oath to protect and serve. They have children. My brother-in-law was a police officer. They have daughters, and my daughter's being tortured to death with voices in her head, and she's homeless. She's been forced homeless. My husband will be here in a minute, and he'll physically throw her out, and she just says, "Mom, just shoot me in the face. I want to die." That's what they do to young women. She's been a victim of this crime probably her whole life. My husband married me knowing he was going to do this to us. We've been under surveillance, systematically having our lives set up and destroyed. Hers right from the get-go. I married him when she was like, 4 or 7 or whatever it was. How awful. How disgusting. They human trafficked us for our biomedical and entertainment, sick entertainment. These people are sick, really, really sick. Our society needs to do something. Because when my family's gone, it's going to be somebody else's family, and it could be very well be yours. I mean, I married a man. His brother's a law enforcement. He's a police officer, and his other, my youngest daughter's, my other brother-in-law is a judge, and he's her godfather. And my husband's, I never met him. He passed before, I had a chance to meet him, and he was a sheriff. And his other uncle was the chief of in his fire station. He was a fireman. And that's what, this is how they make their money. They pick innocent women. I was chosen as a single mom. He married me knowing, I was broken. The children's father beat the living crap out of me before he left me with a couple children. He was in the Navy. I believe that, he was part of the narrative too. It's just really ugly. Really ugly. And I won't be silent because this is my family. This is my family. My grandkids are on the terrorist watch list. My little grandkids on the terrorist watch list. Their children have been taken from me. Their lives shattered. My entire family shattered. They pit your family. Your children are given a choice. Stand with your mom or have this horrific thing happen to you and your children and your family. So, what choice do they really have? And then they're also bribed with riches. We'll set you up, we'll leave you alone, and we'll make sure that you maybe have nice things, And then they're under surveillance and experimentation, but just not in a torturous, overt manner. Not in a torturous, overt manner. And I guess that's the sellout. Because all my entire family's on the terrorist watch list. Myself and all my 4 grown children. And my grandchildren, the people that I had social security numbers to check. So this is probably this most disgraceful stain on history, the biggest RICO crime in history. MK Ultra on steroids, violation of the Nuremberg Code, so many people is just awful because, would they want, do unto others like you'd want unto you. So would you want this to happen to your family? And I'm speaking of the leaders that are the ones that make this possible. The leaders and the oath keepers and oath takers and professionals that swore to protect and serve, and they're nothing but criminals, corrupt, greedy, nasty criminals. Shameful. And they're caught. This little old lady. A bunch of little old ladies caught them because that's what moms do. It's mainly a group of moms, and that's what moms do. You protect your children. You protect your family. So you know what? Shame on you. Shame on you people. Shame on you people. And just keep on torturing my family, and I hope you sleep well at night, knowing that I'm exploited, my grandchildren all over the dark web naked. Am I all over the dark web naked, wiping my ass when they make me shit my pants, or in the shower crying because this horrific crime? Crying because I know my husband lied to me for 30 years. He takes Viagra and he sleeps with someone else. He sleeps with someone else. He probably has a whole nother life somewhere. I don't know. Your neighbors, these people, neighbors and friends you thought were neighbors and friends, were only just backstabbing you. They were backstabbing you, setting you up, treating you shitty, saying shitty things, and you're like, what the hell? Why would they say that? Why would you say that? Now you know, so that you'd say something negative in return. Have your egg housed 5 different times in a row, and your husband just sits there, and my grandkids screaming and crying because it sounds like bombs going off, and they're like, Grandma, we're scared. And of course, what is your instinct is to run down the street and chase them after the 5th time. And then that's what they do. They tape you and they say, look at that woman, she's crazy, you need to watch her. They build a dossier. They knock you out and put your best friend's husband next to you like you did something with him when you never did, and tell everyone, look, she's a whore, or she slept with your husband, or something awful like that. I never cheated on any of my friends' husbands, or ever cheated on my husband for that matter. Although I was set up in an awful looking situation, and again, I'll bet you $1 million they knocked me out at night and put that person to look like I did something horrible. They knock you out. They use radio frequency to knock you out. And she pretended like, we got in a fight over something stupid like politics. She brought me on a trip saying, oh, all of a sudden left me alone in Minneapolis, and said that she had a boyfriend that she went with, and it's all a lie. All a lie. I mean, did her daughter really, in fact, have a baby and put it in the dumpster? That's one of the things I was told. So she called and said, Riley had a baby, and she didn't tell anybody. We didn't know she was pregnant, and she put it in the dumpster. You don't even believe that probably ever happened. I don't know if it was to see how I would react. Would I tell what I would do? Would I turn around and tell my friends and talk bad? I don't even remember back then. So many things were just in motion to just be such an ugly life. Right from the get-go, things, just little comments like my brother-in-law would say to my husband, oh, I thought you were gay. Or even if come home from work and his sister's standing there for whatever reason, I don't even remember at the time. Came home from work and my husband comes walking out of my camper that's parked in my backyard with his buddy, and his buddy had like a baseball-sized wet spot where his penis was. So of course you're like, what the hell was going on in there? You know what I mean? And so that sets the seed for awfulness throughout your marriage. And I would find his underwear always like ripped in the crotch, and they looked like somebody had taken a bite out of them. So I'm thinking, my husband's cheating on me, and then they're probably induced like yeast infections, and I'd go to the doctor all the time, and I would insist on him doing STD tests because I thought my husband was cheating on me, giving me STDs. And that's how they set you up. And what's another one that they do? Oh, my best friend, right there. There's my hot tub. So after we moved here, and my best friend, one of my best friends, she would do weird things too. We would go over to their house for a backyard barbecue. She had a boyfriend at the time, and we would be, just get there, and we'd sit out on the deck, and she hadn't come down, and I look up, and she's standing in the window, bare naked. So I'm like, what the hell? and then little things like she called in the middle of the night one time at like 1 a.m. and like pretended like she was drunk, and then mumbled stuff about her relationship with my husband. So, then before I know it, I'm thinking she's having an affair with my husband. And then a coworker of hers that she worked with as a waitress, like, that was from my hometown, Arnell Dahlbeck, like, called my house and hung up in the middle of the night. Like, she wanted to tell me something, or I don't know what. So they just set this nasty seed in you. And then, so after she broke up with her guy, and they were here, and I went in the house to put my little daughter to bed. She was pretty young at the time. I don't even remember how old she was. She had to have been, I don't know, less than 10. And I come out after putting her to bed, and I don't know if they looked like they were fornicating in my hot tub. And I was so upset, and I just threw on, jeans. I think I had my swimsuit on. I had bare feet, and I went to Curly's bar, and I probably was crying and devastated, and looked like a wreck. And and after that was awful. I slept on the couch, and it just kept getting worse from there. It kept getting worse from there. Lots of events. I could relate tons of little events now that I know were set up by his sister and my friends and my brother and my sisters. We rented a van to go visit my dad in Colorado, where he lived. We left us when we were small, and on the way home, my brother, I don't even remember how it started, but he had me, almost suicidal, in tears. He did, and said something just, I don't know if he physically harmed me too, if he hit me, but it was just awful. It was, I was just broken. I was broken, and I couldn't understand why my brother was like attacking me like that. And then and then we got home, and we immediately had to go to our family vacation to the KOA. And I can't even remember if that was the year that no, I don't think that couldn't have been the year that Chelsea was arrested while I was at the KOA. That was another year. But I think that I got shit-faced. I don't know. They probably put stuff in your alcohol to even induce a further psychosis, or whatever the word is. And I actually had my brand new swimsuit stolen out of the shower that year, probably by my sister-in-law, who came to my aid. Another year, they made me shit my pants on the river. They put shit in your, I don't even know if they have to put stuff in your drink or whatever, but I literally had to pretty much shit. You pull my pants down in the river and shit, because It just was just blasted out of me. That was just humiliating. Another year, what else? Oh, then the one year we went, and that was when Andy Verville over up at the Piedmont Milk House set Chelsea up. Chelsea's friend was supposed to come and pick her up, and he didn't. Um, uh, this recording. Oh yeah, so they get your children hooked on drugs, and she was doing heroin. She worked at the milk house, and she started, pilfering money, and he knew it like right from day one. He knew it, but he let her go 6 months. 6 months, and they didn't arrest her till the weekend. I'm at the KOA, so I got the call while I'm at the KOA on the family trip, again, to cause, just hurtful, awful negativity in your life. And then for him to wait that long, they were able to charge her with a more severe crime. She ended up doing 5 years with the multitude of things that they set her up on. They set her up on a controlled buy before that. And I don't even know. It wasn't much else. They made her go to jail for 5 years over that. 5 years of her young life. She was in her 20s. And I paid the lawyer like $4,000 to help have her, charge reduced, and she still did 5 years. And my husband will be home in a minute, and she's just like half dead on the couch. She's in pain. She's tired. She's withdrawing. She does drugs. She does drugs to try and deal with the horrific torture of the neurotechnology, the voice to skull, and I'm sure that there's a much physical torture going along with the brain to computer interface technology. And her friend was supposed to be back at before 5, and it's probably 5 o'clock now. My husband will be walking in the door any minute, and he will physically throw her out. My truck's been broken. They sabotaged my truck this KOA trip. We barely got on the freeway pulling out of the Hayward KOA, and it was storming to beat all heck. Storming to beat all heck. And they made us wait 7 hours. 7 hours for a tow truck from an hour away from home. And then he stole my phone and my sunglasses and said that, that I lost him in the woods going pee. And I didn't even take my phone, or I didn't take either of them into the woods to go pee. And then, and I don't want to jinx myself, but just like right before here, my birthday trip, my sunglasses, they returned them into my bedroom drawer. They returned my sunglasses into my bedroom drawer. So there's that. There's that. So yeah, it's a really ugly, ugly crime. It's a shame on humanity. And I don't understand how all you people listening, I don't get it. You need to figure out how to apologize, some sort of reparations, and leave us alone to try and live out the rest of our life broken. So I'll leave it for part 2 coming up. There's, I'm sure, much more to come. That was just a bit of the ugliness that has ensued since this nightmare began. I'm not even talking about it at all. Pretty much kind of started with an organized car accident in 2016. I know that was a setup. Can you imagine? They literally, it's like they use a stuntman, and they drive into you. And after that, the Bellamy Clinic, pulled 7 teeth, and then my face felt like I had a stroke for like the next year and some. And even before that, they had to have been hitting me with, radio frequency, microwave, direct energy weapons, and I went from happy and healthy to coming home crying from work in extreme pain. And they put me through a plethora of, doctor visits and Mayo Clinic, and, you have this and you have that, and I lost my job and was put on disability, and, it's just a sham. It's just a great big, awful, scummy, organized scam, sham of people that you trust and you love and they find out betrayed you and they lied. Okay. Here's my part 2 probably coming up. My husband's going to be home. Chelsea's friend never came to pick her up, and she's laying on the couch. I have no way to bring her anywhere. It's going to get ugly. We're in out. Cybertorture family. Lisa Davis in Duluth, Minnesota. It's 9/1/2022.